we ready?
Listen, there are a whole bunch of Rabbi.
Yeah.
You see these little books? Oh.
They're wonderful books. You showed me by Shalom Arush.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Everything. You have to keep retraining ourselves. That's why you have to keep learning, because the Torah, it's the best book on what I call the thought diet. I just shot a video here. I just shot a video clip of one of my biggest concepts that I'm writing a book about, called Creating Angels, which is really has to do with the fact that every single thought that we think creates an angel, which is very powerful. Oops is right.
Stick it in the fridge, okay?
Yeah. So like the Torah is the thought diet, and you only want to think the highest of thoughts, because in every single thought and every time you come and every time you approach Torah, you're introducing higher thoughts into your psyche, right? And with those, there's an unbelievable creative force. Don't think it's small. It's quite big, right? The things that we do are unbelievable, as we're going to explore, okay? We're here to wake up and get ourselves out of our own exile, because the reality is we're in our own personal exile, okay? Because
how do we get out of it?
That's why we're here to learn.
We build walls around each other.
First thing is, you have to say, I have absolutely no idea what is going on.
What, I mean, in general?
Yes.
Okay.
Once you say, listen, even the scientists, the biggest physicists, can't really put their finger on really what's going on. Okay? They'll explain it, and they got theories, but they really, bottom line, to get into what matter is something that they basically explain it. What's called probability aptitudes, which is like it's probably gonna be there in a minute. There's no reason the space between the subatomic particles is like the distance between here and the moon, which is there's more space than there is particles. But how come we're in this physical space? You know, there's lots to talk about it, even things that I don't even know. Okay.
I thought that it's all
Energy, everything's all energies, right? But yet here we are partaking of some kind of existence that we're trying to figure out why we're here and what we're supposed to be doing. Okay? Oh, okay. First of all, everybody did their homework?
What homework? Oh, not again. We're in school.
Out. I'm out. Come on. You're all right. Okay. Well, the last thing that we discussed was the 7 Sefirot, the 7 lower Sefirot. The 7 lower Sefirot. Who wasn't here the last class? Right? Okay? It's all right. God wants a relationship with us. He made us for the purpose of having a relationship with Him. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's not easy for us, we're finite beings, to have a direct relationship with the infinite. Finite meets infinite needs a buffer zone. It needs some kind of form of communication. It needs a bridge. We have a bridge. The bridge is the structural DNA of the universe that we call the 10 Sefirot, or the 10 illuminations. Okay? 10 illuminations that we have in Kabbalistic tradition, of course, bleed, and that's what we're going to do today, into so many parts through the 5 books of Moses and every single thing, and even beyond that. Okay? And our point here is to awaken, and that to become aware of these 10 Sefirot, and then to, when we're in going through our physical existence, our daily lives, to be able to connect to the Sefirot and understand, okay, this is this. Because, why? We need to peel off the mask of matter. We need to know that there's something else that's going on right here and now. And there's something I need to connect to right here and now. And we find ourselves distracted all the time, and we get caught up in things all the time. And it's for a reason that we get caught up in these things all the time. But we're supposed to go ahead and refocus and get ourselves back on track. And once we peel off and we say, oh, okay, this is this. Oh, okay, this is this. So we discussed last time. You want to check the AC? Do you know how to adjust the AC?
It's hot in
It's hot in here. 71, and then we'll see if we freeze. Straight ahead. It should be facing that wall. Okay. So we had all of these 10 emanations, and I got a pen. This time I'll use the blue pen. Okay? These are 10 emanations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? This is also what we call the image of God. That doesn't come out so well in here. The image of God. The image of, the image of God that He made man with. Okay? And you got to know Him. I'm going to test you really on it. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, Keter Chachma, right? Bina, okay, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferes, right? You got to know your Sefirot, because when you are involved in something, you have to be able to, in a conversation, going, okay, we're talking about horses. Okay, we're talking about Malchut. We're talking about horses. We're talking about Malchut.
How are horses?
What?
How are horses, Mom?
I don't know. But I haven't figured that out yet. Okay, but there's got to be something. Okay, but let's say we talked to last time. Now the first three, we call them intellectual Sefirot. This is crown. This is wisdom. This is understanding. Okay? These are all like in your brain, right? This is like in the representative of a human being, and they all have those representatives, right? This is the skull. This is the what we call what was it? I'm left brain, right? This is wisdom, which right? This is wait a minute, I'm getting confused. This is the right brain, and this is the left brain, right? Right brain, left brain, right? Right, because well, the reason why I get it because it controls the part of my body, right? It switches. The twist and the switch exists on many forms, okay? Many ways in terms of my brain. Okay, and then we focused on the lower ones, okay, which are the emotional Sefirot. These are mental, these are emotional emanations or garments, how God behaves with us, okay? That we can have a relationship with Him, because otherwise you can't have a relationship with infinity. You need something to work with. So here's your something to work with, okay? So you have kindness. Then you'll have discipline. That's what we call Gevurah, okay? Then you'll have what we call beauty. Then you'll have dominance. Then you'll have empathy. Then you'll have foundation. And then you'll have kingship.
What's the
What?
about the forbidden?
Where's forbidden?
No. Beauty? Beauty, oh, no.
Beauty.
Beauty, and below that is what?
Dominance.
So what's Netzach?
And to
Foundation.
Netzach. This is Netzach. You want me to do it in Hebrew?
Yeah, please.
Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchut. This is Chesed, Gevurah. This is Tiferet. Okay? Now we also said, the idea really is this, everything comes from this. Everything. Okay? Everything has to be related. There was a big Kabbalist, Baba Sali, wrote a book. They have it, and he goes through the entire Chumash, and he's connecting every single thing to these Sefirot. In other words, you like, wait a minute, there's all the things in the mitzvahs, everything has to connect to these. These are the roots of creation. This is the spiritual DNA. This is where everything hooks up to. And we discussed last time also that there's 7 key figures, seven special tzaddikim, righteous people, who were able to bring down, because once Adam sinned in the Garden of Eden and the subsequent generations didn't pick up the ball, they drove God out of the world in a 7-fold way, 7 levels of driving God out of the world. And there were 7 righteous people who came and brought those 7 expressions, God, it back into the world. And that is Abraham, who's kindness. We say he's love. Yitzhak is discipline. He was the one who was bound. He didn't move. He was low key. He was in the tent. Not many verses written about Isaac. Beauty is Yaakov because he's the combination of both. He brought the best of both of them. Okay? We had Netzach, which is Moshe. Empathy, which is Aaron. Yesod, which is Joseph. And Malchut, which is David. Okay?
Okay.
And we kind of explained what each one of those are, but I wanted to go, I'm getting just into the homework to explain the homework to you that you didn't do.
You did. Someone
No,
did.
you didn't do it, okay? But it's okay.
Don't argue with the teacher.
No, I didn't. I know.
You don't even know what the homework is.
We gotta figure out which one
I don't
it
even
was.
know what the homework is.
What's the crown? Who is the crown?
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
take a deep breath.
Okay.
First take a deep breath. Okay, now, okay? We're not gonna get to the crown right now, okay? Just, I drew a line here because they're very sublime, okay? As a matter of fact, crown, it's almost not even there. Sometimes it's there, it's there, but now really the light, the same one universal light of God is filtering through all of these. It's one light, it's just a different garment. Like the invisible man, you can't have a relationship with him until he puts on clothes, and then you can talk to him. God puts on clothes, so to speak, in order to relate to us, because you're talking about infinity relating to a human being, and we don't get it. I'm telling you, the Talmud says, it's like talking to an ant. Try to have a relationship with an ant. Okay? So, but what I wanted to say was, each of these 7 righteous people who brought down, I wanted to just focus on these 2, which was, you remember.
No, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why isn't Yosef beauty?
Why? Because he was so beautiful.
Like that wasn't that his thing with Latifah and everything. So.
Okay, that's a really good question you're asking.
Why was he?
Yosef, why wasn't Yosef beauty?
He's the foundation of the Jewish people. He raised his sons in Mitzrayim and in Egypt, and if he hadn't done that, then maybe we would have lost.
Well, I mean, that tribe would have been lost. But really, I think the real beauty. You're right, and he was so beautiful, right? He looked exactly like his father, right? They say he looked exactly like Yaakov Avinu. But Yaakov Avinu, he got the position first, so because he was born first. But in any case, Yosef's beauty was expressed by that he overcame the ultimate temptation. Right? He's 17-year-old, hormones raging, and you got someone in the house who's trying to seduce you, and to overcome that takes a lot. It took a lot. Okay, for him to overcome that. So therefore, that's how his beauty was expressed. But he understood that it's a really unbelievable mentality that really you have to take in. And each person has to really say that the whole world is depending upon me to do this right act. That's what Yesod, if you could listen to the Sefirot of Yesod, that's what Yesod would tell you. That you doing this act or overcoming this temptation or doing this right thing right now, even though everything wants to go against it, the world is depending upon it. And here he knew that the world was depending upon him overcoming this temptation, and because of that he became the mashbir of the world. The mashbir is, he became the sole food source of everybody. All the money of the world came through him, and all the food came out from him. Okay? Just like here. All this energy pours down, and they all end up giving to here. It all funnels down and collects here, and then from here, he gives to Malchut. So Yesod, really, Joseph, that was how his beauty was expressed. Did I answer your question? No, not at all.
Is there any correlation with Mashiach ben Yosef and Mashiach ben?
100%. Okay? This is Mashiach ben Yosef, and this is Mashiach ben David. Okay? Mashiach ben Yosef